Madam Speaker, I rise to make my contribution on the Advanced Passenger Information System Bill of 2018. It seems that members of the House are a bit tired and nobody has stood up thus far to debate any other resolution or bill passed.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
And I hope that the silence that has persisted thus far will continue as I make my short presentation, Madam Speaker. This bill, permit me, Madam Speaker, with your leave to refer to my notes. I did extensive note on the anti-terrorism bill, so I'm going to take the opportunity to...
Yes, you have my permission.
Thank you. This bill should have been brought to the House at a much earlier time than now, Madam Speaker. This bit of legislation has its genesis in the preparation for Cricket World Cup 2007, and I'm sure we remembered, which was hosted within the nomenclature of 9+1 geographical space, and I did my research. It is instructive to note that reference to +1 was a reference to the Commonwealth of Dominica, though we did not have any games played on island. We became an integral part of the elaborate security architecture that provided coverage for the games. Madam Speaker, the laws passed to support the security architecture for the games were called the Sunset Legislation. It ceased to exist once the last ball was bowled at the finals in 2007. Had these laws been kept on our books, we would be by now significantly improved in the security of Dominica and the region as a whole. We have become too insular in what we do as a nation state, and we have failed miserably in seeing the bigger picture. Madam Speaker, the question to be asked now is, does the Commonwealth of Dominica have the requisite communication platform to host the receipt, the storage, and secure dissemination of the information that it will receive once this bill is passed and operationalized? And I'm sure, Madam Speaker, many of the listening public did not understand anything the Minister of National Security read. This is pure parliamentary jargon. The local average man do not understand what you just said. You did not go in depth with the bill, you just read what was already written there. We have just heard from the Minister of National Security that the Dominica Police Force is closing the gap in preparation for delivery of the necessary services in this hurricane season. As usual, the minister failed to tell Dominican citizenry, being vague as usual, how wide is that gap he speaks of. Are we to believe that the communications platform required to facilitate the the operation of the Advanced Passenger Information System is already in place? Does the skill nets needed to manage that system exist within the security services of Dominica? And these are legitimate questions that we're asking. And I'm sure you understand the need to ask those questions. I ask this because in the past 18 years, Madam Speaker, the Labour Party administration has done, it tells us that Dominica does not have the capacity nor the capabilities to manage a number of national institutions established to help keep us safe. For instance, Minister of National Security, there's a lack of capacity and capabilities in engineering, so Public Works Department is disseminated and replaced with no-bid contract entities to carry out construction and repairs to our roads, Madam Speaker. Lack of capacity and capabilities at the registry to share records of deaths to the Electoral Commission. Lack of capacity and capabilities at the Immigration Department to share records with the Electoral Commission to determine which citizens have been out of state for more than 5 years to assist in cleansing the electoral list. There's a lack of capacity and capabilities within the health system, so we must now depend on our Cuban friends to provide us with healthcare services. Lack of capacity and capabilities within the Dominica Police Force so as to provide professional service to residents and visitors on the island. There's a lack of capacity and capabilities at the Fire and Ambulance Department to provide us with safety services at airports and other areas in Dominica. Lack of capacity again and capabilities at the Office of Disaster Management to provide Dominicans with professional and reliable services. Actually, Madam Speaker, there exists a lack of capacity and capabilities within the current administration to provide the nation state with the requisite management to keep us safe. Too much lack of capacity and capabilities, and so we are asking on this side of the House, are we prepared with the capacity and capabilities once this bill has been passed? Madam Speaker, my other concern is that without the assurance of the Minister with responsibility for national security that the necessary intelligence and security communication platform is in place, then how does he assure us that the very sensitive and personal information that would be shared with the world be secured and safeguarded without compromise and falling into the wrong hands? Okay? Since this bill is so necessary for regional and economic integration, why is the government bringing this bill to Parliament only now? Remember, Madam Speaker, this draft bill was prepared and presented as a harmonized bill as far back as 2006. Why is it only now coming before this House? Madam Speaker, I said that my intervention would be brief. Therefore, this cannot do nothing, anything, lack of capacity, administration should really demit office. No, for they have compromised the security of Dominicans, and I firmly believe that. The region, the wider world, with their inefficiencies. They have been neglectful, you have been neglectful, and grossly derelict in the discharge of your duties, and therefore cannot be trusted to continue serving us. Madam Speaker, in the face of all of these incapacities, in the face of all of these incapabilities, should I support this bill, Madam Speaker? I thank you.